Okay, cookies here with turn 100. And we've got some site searching. Cave of Ghouls, pretty cool. You can send a death mage to get ghouls from it. Enchanted Field. So we are finding some stuff, so it's worth doing. So I'll probably continue to do that. Got a golem, sent out some ghost riders. We lost a Jarl to an earth elemental assassination on Alluvia. Let's see if they were important. Nope, not important. Let's see how the Jarl does, though. We know they lose, but... Ooh, close. A little bit of a debate on... Or not a debate, but a little bit of a discussion on Discord about assassinations with Jarls and hearses. And I think this Jarl did well enough that there's... I was saying that I didn't think it was super effective, but maybe I should revisit that, where if you give them, like the Jarl, a great sword of sharpness or a moonblade, they might be able to survive against the elemental. Seems like maybe that could be the case. You still got to be careful about, in a true assassination, about like frozen heart spam, stuff like that, and mind hunt. We have another disease demon head out. Ooh, ice shield, frozen heart. All right. Quicksand, very nice. 24 gems into 1,000 gold. I'll take it. Need that money right now. Overgrown graveyard. I haven't seen that. One nature, one death. Okay. And we have a fight in... Oh, hopefully I didn't spoil things, but we've got a little bit of a fight in Eremithia. Where we've got a few Jarls going in on the Sea King. So this was an air elemental trap. And then I guess I was hoping that on advance and cast they would be able to kill this Sea King. I think in retrospect I really just needed... I didn't have weapons, but I needed... Well, I had like Holy Scourges, but I didn't want to use those. Probably could have given him some weapons, and maybe they could have killed the Sea King rather than just routing it off the field. And then our little Wraithlord attack spell, going after this monster fish. The primary goal is to kill the monster fish with this raid. So 5 death gems for 6 water gems. Commander got swallowed, but they just managed to kill the monster fish. That's funny. Got some more blood slaves. I finally decided to try and use my assassin. So Sten Stolpe, the heroic precision for a 23 attack ethereal crossbow, probably about to be 25 attack with blessing. Ethereal crossbow does a soul slay attack with 45 range. You can shoot underwater. It's pretty cool. Gave an earth gem, or not an earth gem, an air gem for mist form. And we have a bottle of living water for a blocker. Black heart to allow the assassination. Frost, the blue dragon scale armor for the cold resist to prevent frozen heart spam. And then a crown of lead to just give a little bit more resistance against mind hunts, if this does work out. So water bottle gives a size 5 elemental. The mage summons a size 6 water elemental. So we're a little bit on the clock. Alright, so let's see how these bolts are doing. So it looks like we had one miss, but then we had a Oh, did I click on the wrong guy? No, I didn't. Was that 2 misses? Because we should. Oh, here we go. Vanheim's hit Mage of the Deep with a ranged attack. 15 versus. Oh my gosh, 27. All right, yeah, they resist. And maybe the other one just missed. And we hit again. Oh, 15 against 16. So that almost killed. But not quite. And I think this is probably the end of the line for my assassin here. So we see the size 6 water elemental didn't even lose its first form to the size 5. And that's because of all the regen and the crush attacks. So it's just strictly better. And it's going to punch through Mist form and crush that assassin. Then we have a battle in Serenity as Atlantis moves in just like I thought they would, potentially the 5 Mages of the Deep. Although this time it's 4. So we have the water lenses on all of them, so they're just water 3 elemental raiders. We coalesced, like, I think 4 different raiding parties to try and kill these mages. So we can see that the liquefies cripple, even if you pass the magic resistance check. And then, yep, and then we collapse and kill them all. So now we have some crippled herdmen, but that's okay. Continue holding this province. And killed 4 of their mages, so worth. And see a small band of sacreds. I'm really liking these sacred bands. They perform really well in these underwater raids. So gonna keep doing those. Get raided in the green sink. So we have another Mage of the Deep with some water gems. Our little band of Bakemono and the Minotaur. Maybe... oh, a little baby water elemental. That's funny. So the Bakemono managed to kill the big one. The little one actually manages to... although maybe the Frozen Heart killed the Minotaur. Yeah, Frozen Heart did the Minotaur in. Here come the Bakemono. Shocking that they're still here with their like 9 morale, but they managed to kill the mage. I've been getting really good results out of Bakemono this game. Like shockingly good. Yeah, so we're on Whitegrave now. So Atlantis attacks, bringing in 4 mages with water lenses and water bottles. Oh, this one's got the ethereal crossbow. So we can see the gear. So we've got the bottle of living water and the ethereal crossbow is what they pulled off from my assassin. Okay. We've got a little band of sacred raiders, but oh, this is too many water elementals. So this is like 8 water elementals, so that's going to overwhelm a small band of sacreds. So this is Atlantis just doing a little bit bigger commitment than what I was doing. Atlantis raiding another undefended province with no PD. Atlantis moving in on Isurian with the Seeking. Tried many times to kill this one, have not. It should succeed, so I'm not going to bother watching that. And then we have the big battle at Alluvia, finally. The thing that we've been leading up to for 4 or 5 turns now. And inside, we have a monster fish, a few of these flame jellies. We've got a Basalt King with some Earth Gems, Earth 5 with Heroic Precision. Very scary. We have a Feeble-Minded Adept. We have a Sea King with some Water Gems. And Atlantis has Gift of Health up, so it's 100 HP Sea King. So everything is It's just going to be really hard to tank through. 32 HP. And then we have the 834 HP Kraken. So much HP. Holding 2 globals. So Atlantis putting it on the line. Ring of Wizardry, Ring of Sorcery, Rune Smasher, Sciotata Volturnus, Crystal Shield. Like, what is this? 80, 140, 160, 70. I think this is 200 gems worth of gear. 30, probably. What is it? Probably 24 pearls for 3 casts, something like that. Maybe 27. So over 200 gems worth of stuff on this Kraken. It's got over 800 HP. It's holding 2 globals. It's got all the experience stars. Terrifying. We know what's happening. What's about to happen. We've prepared for this. We know it's going to cast Master and Slave. We've got amulets of anti-magic on most of the troops. This golem does not, but it's got some pearls. Anti-magic for the Fog Warriors caster. 18 MR on this Crystal Mage. 20 MR on this Gnome for, I think, Army of Lead, because Lead gives a MR bonus. We've got the Lich, who's doing Life After Death, and then we've got the Ivy King doing, I believe, Relief, Serpent's Blessing, and maybe Mass Protection or something. Just I wanted to have a lot of redundancy on the battlefield enchantments, so I've got multiple mages set to cast like anti-magic and stuff like that, because I know I need to get anti-magic off. Got this guy who's the commander. Some Jarls where it's not the end of the world if they get like stolen. Really light gear on some of them. A number of constructs. Who I'm not sure, can you steal constructs with Master and Slave? Probably. But they've got decent MR. I was worried about the corpse constructs because they have terrible MR. We have a number of Sacreds, decent MR, and a number of Trolls, also decent MR. Put on team colored squares. By virtue of some items, both sides have friendly currents up immediately. We have a monster fish here with 200 HP. So, this is Atlantis, the Kraken doing time stop. I'm trying to get off anti-magic. It looks like I do. Sweet. Alright. So that'll push just about everybody up over 20 MR, which I haven't done the math to figure out if that's enough to stop Master and Slave, but it feels like where I needed to be to try and stop Master and Slave, especially with the Rune Smasher. So let's see how this first cast goes. This is just part of the process. We're going to take attrition. Not too bad. Lost some trolls. Lost a couple of sacreds. Lost the Vine Ogre, which is probably one of the worst things that could have happened. Really wanted that Serpent's Blessing, and just in case, and the Relief. Because I've seen Atlantis use Rigor Mortis before, I believe. So, but now we've got Fog Warriors. The time stop makes everything so funny. So time stop ends. This is a pretty big blow. Losing everything on that mage too, like all the gear. And it's a 30 gem chassis. Wouldn't shock me if I spent like 100 gems on that mage. Got the Fog Warriors caster getting harassed down by a shark, but 29 protection, 21 defense should be enough to stop these bites from doing too much. Got a few trolls that made it in. Kraken is probably not ready to cast again just yet, but soon. We've got shark attack up, obviously. We saw the sharks coming in. There's some petrifies coming out from the Earth 5 mage. That is a scary spell. I think it's it just hits and then you're stunned with like 20 protection because you're turned to stone. And then if you don't make your save, you just die. So. Alright, so we're about to have Master and Slave come out again. Let's see. Couldn't lose too much. Oh, that's interesting. Some weapons and sharpness coming out. I think what I really needed here was some of these mages on advance and cast, like the Lich in particular. I didn't want to lose these mages, so I was okay with them staying back. But Astral, you don't need to walk forward, but in particular I really wanted the Lich to go forward, like some Disintegrate, some of these water elementals would have been fantastic. Even if there's a risk of Petrify. Kraken has enough for one more cast with 158 fatigue. It'll be a 400 fatigue cast. On Astral 10, which I think makes it like 100 fatigue. It's by half and then a third on 800. A little bit over 200, and an extra gen makes it about 100. I want to say. Yeah, Skipper's Fan doesn't do anything for me here. It needed that Lich to be on advance and cast. Okay with this guy hanging back. Sea King probably could have moved up too. Some liquefies would have been really good. And here we are, just kind of grinding against these water elementals and trolls. Just a hard batch to get through. Alright. Troll bodyguard stolen. Not too bad again. We are starting to summon some, like, astral things that can go through walls. We've got some shrimp in the meantime. Soulless Warrior. That was a stolen one. Huh. I wonder if Life After Death just applied to all my units, even if they got stolen. Got the army moving in. I forget. I think there was a way to bring up the turn timer. There we go. Alright. So, battle round 48. So we're getting up there, but we're not quite there yet. number of big astral spells coming out. Still trying to grind through all these water elementals. Especially with Petrify slowing things down. Yeah, these false horrors are really kind of clutch because they can just go through the walls if they can get around all the troops. So they're starting to provide some flanking pressure. So we're starting to break through. If I had more astral mages, it would have been good to do more body ethereal, maybe, and have troops walk through the walls more. And I think, oh, who are the, like, getting some Ether Warriors would have been good, because they can just walk through the walls and they've got magic weapons. So they do extremely well on things like water elementals. So, as we can see, we're starting our turn timer route. Sorry, it was a phone alarm. And so, Vanheim's army is routing on the cusp of victory. Kraken is just hanging out in the back. But some of these guys are really slow, though. So one of the things that's going to happen is as we hit, I think it's like, I forget what round it is, but at some point, the defenders route as well. So we have some final enslaved lines going off. A number of so I think this is kind of an interesting side effect. So one of the things that the Atlantean mages like to do is cast Liquefy, and if you pass the check, you get crippled rather than just straight up dying. So there's a large number of crippled, like, trolls and Vanheers trying to get off the battlefield, but they can't, and there's not enough enslaved mind going around to hit them all, especially with their buffed MR. So we're actually going to hit the turn timer for the defenders to route as well, which is, I think, turn 110. Yep, so we see the Kraken is routed. It's fatigue 106, so a little bit of buffer, but racing cripples off the battlefield is not a strategy for success when you want to lose the race. So it looks like the Kraken has run off the field and killed itself. So even if this battle, even with this battle being a loss, taking down the Kraken was a very high priority of this war. Like, being able to, presumably the Kraken cast Nexus. So if we check out the globals, yep, both globals, 2 of the 4 Atlantean globals go down, so we lose Nexus and we lose strands of arcane power, which is fantastic. And even if we lose the battle, we took a lot of troop damage, especially, but a number of these troops were sacreds and trolls that were getting off of the payroll. Losing the constructs really hurts. The constructs are really nice, and losing some of the storm demons hurts, but I think it was like 200 gems worth of stuff on the Golem and the Ivy King, so the battle is mutually very destructive. But we did get the Kraken. So I think, having gotten the Kraken, I think the goal now is to take this throne and then see if we can get a peace deal with Atlantis. fairly successful retreats. Lost one Jarl with 3 troops, but otherwise things went pretty well. Just to dip in there one more time to see what we lost with the golem and the... So yeah, expensive golem. So 35, 45, 50, 60, 70 with probably 10 pearls. So 80 gems there. 30, 40, 55, 65, 70, 75, probably 15 nature gems. 85, so 90. So definitely not without loss on my end as well. So, and then all the clockworks that we lost, 76 and 56, or 21 rather, a bunch of corpse constructs. So definitely lost a lot of material, but managed to kill the Kraken, which is in itself is just a huge coup de grace. So the Kraken was over 200 gems worth of gear and pearls on it, and then with the 2 globals, probably hundreds more gems in those 2 globals. So definitely a big W, even though we took heavy attrition. So the focus for this turn, was there anything else that happened? Tiernanog attacked a fort, maybe? Oh, they took over a fort, so Tiernanog continuing their invasion of... Oh, interesting. Of Agartha. And so on the Vanheim side, so we thought about just withdrawing, but we've decided that with the Kraken down, like even if it comes back for another go, it's not going to have the globals, it's not going to have all the same gear. Atlantis is going to have to resummon the Kraken, re-gear the Kraken. Maybe we can sneak this throne off. Atlantis does have another Wishcaster, so it's going to be important to be high MR again. But we've decided to move in some more troops. So we've got more stuff moving back in. We've got this Earth King moving in now. Got a number of Jarls and troops. So we've rallied some more troops to go in. We've got a lot of the troops from here coming in. Even if we lose, we get them off the payroll. So it's a win either way. Bringing in this guy with some Fiends of Darkness. And yeah, so it's definitely not going to be as strong of an army as the last one we sent in, but hopefully it's enough. Maybe Atlantis teleports the other Wishcaster in. Maybe it ends up being the Kraken that makes it back in, like one turn calling God, and then it teleports in for the Siege Assault, assuming we crack it. I don't know. It's worth giving it one more shot. I think win or lose after this next fight, gonna try to make peace with Atlantis. We'll see how salty they are about the war, and if they're willing to make peace. Let's see. We've got some more Blood Hunters. We're getting Tartarian. A little less scary. Armageddon could happen, but I think this one's pretty protected from Armageddon from the other Wishcaster. I don't know how many pearls Atlantis has left, but I'm gonna try and get out a Tart while I can. Maybe get just another super combatant out of it. Getting some more terracotta soldiers. I've got enough money. I don't think I need to alchemize more or like transmute fire. And then yeah, forging more stuffs. Skull staffs, coral blades, thistle maces, amulets, tons of amulets of anti-magic. for all the master and slave. So just keeping that going. And yeah. And we're really kicking off the counter raiding game. So be doing some magic phase attacks, going to be doing some stronger raids, trying to get rid of these raiders. So yep, so if we get a good solid turn of raiding in, maybe crack this fort, take it, then that'll be it. So I'll see you next time.